Hello, hello, hello. Good morning, everybody. It is Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. And here we are, back at the channel, back on the live. Hope everyone's doing good. We have about 6 minutes till the open, so be sure to vote in the chat whether you're bullish, bearish, or neutral for today. And we shall see how it ends up. Looks like overnight we dropped a bit down here into the weekly, the week opening gap, right? Sunday open is here. I think that's kind of important to be marked out. I'm sure people wanted to see this yesterday. I know I wanted to see this yesterday, but of course there was no fall through to downside, so we actually played longs yesterday on the Ninja Trader stream, and it was a banger. But now, prices is a little bit different here on the 4-hour. Right, we retraced a ton. Now we're going to be, obviously it's important to have Friday's low marked as well. Just mark it Friday's low. I wasn't at my charts for that huge drop down. As you can see from my, I posted on the community page as well, and on Twitter and Instagram. I was at the New York Stock Exchange. That was really cool on Friday. And there'll be 2 videos coming out about that. One will be like a vlog, and the other one will be an interview with Peter Tuchman. It's gonna be sick. Before that, though, I obviously had to go over my losing trades from last Thursday. I posted that. I'm actually surprised this morning I woke up, I'm like, damn, it has 10,000 views already. But yeah, you gotta take accountability, and that's how we can move forward. Well, that's the thing, it's like, yesterday I made it back in one trade, basically, right? Fun. Thursday I lost like 4 grand, yes, and then yesterday I made 3,800 and whatever, $60, something like that. But if on Thursday I had been better about my motions and trade management and, execution, I would have been up, not break even. So here we are. We'll mark that as Sunday open. Make sure it's the open. Yeah. Because we just did it like a gap and go, basically. Yeah. There's no wick on that. Of course, I'm gonna look at YM also. Let's see the poll. Answer the poll. You're bullish, bearish, or neutral today. I'm about to close it. I'm about to close it, mate. $516 votes. Wilson Gomez, good morning. It's my first time here. I discovered your channel through Auto from Brazil. Woohoo! Yeah, he was also at this New York Stock Exchange. Very fun, very cool guy. He'll be in my vlog too. And I think I'm going to Florida this Thursday, but I'm gonna be back on Saturday, and I think we will try to make a collab happen on the day that I come back, because that's the only day that we'll be both in New York, I think. Again, because I'm going to Florida and he's going to Boston, and then back to New York. And I'm like, okay. They're like, could you do the 17th or 18th? I'm like, oh, I'm in Naples, Florida. But then I'm like, oh, actually, on the 18th, I'm coming back at like 1:30 p.m., so I could fit something in. So, busy. We're going to try to do something. All right, here's the open. Doesn't look like anything right now. That's much. All right, like I always like to start off on the 15 at the open. 15's a good bellwether curve, you know. Bellwether midpoint between higher time frames and like lower ones. Excuse me. But on my other charts, my other monitors, like I like to also have 4-hour open, and also some other, like on one I'll have the stocks that are part of the NASDAQ. Speaking of monitors, yesterday during my Ninja Trader live stream, gave away a ultra fine 27-inch LG monitor, literally the one that I use for my center charts. So, congrats to the winner of that. I think it was actually the winner was named Chicken Dinner. And then actually one of you guys won the Ninja Trader lifetime license. That was also something I gave away yesterday. So cool. I'm happy to see someone from my community winning it. Hado. What's my background color? Someone asked me this. I think they even emailed me it, asking me. I'll let you know later, because right now it's open. Got to be focused. But you could just find, you guys, people that want to know my background color, you can just screenshot it. Go to Google color picker, and then it will tell you. Screenshot the space. Google color picker, and then paste it into that website or whatever, and then it'll tell you exactly what the hex code is. Actually, that's exactly what I did when someone asked me. So I'm like, wait, why can't they do this? You gotta be resourceful, people. I kind of a slow open there. I don't see any sort of divergence that I'm like paying close attention to want to take a trade at the moment. Kind of slow. Feels like the market just is in slow motion, still deciding what it wants to do, right? Strange things have happened, and the stranger are you coming through the tree? Joshua Lewis sent me like an email about what happened. I'm interested to hear. I mean, what font you use, I don't know, bro. You guys are just trolling at this point. Stop trolling. Ron Sarker, thank you. Yeah, that video is doing numbers now. I'm like, oh, damn. People like to hear about losses because, I hope that I can teach you guys something about what I learned. And then maybe, you can learn the same lesson, but without the pain. But also just seeing, like, honestly, going back to when that happened is important as well. And that's sort of how I recalibrated, because it could have been much worse. Could have lost more money. I could have probably lost, what's 1,500 times 4? Yeah, I could have lost $1,200. 12,000, sorry. I could have lost $12,000 if all of those are full losses, No, sorry, 6,000. Oh my gosh, my brain's not working. 1,500 times 4 is 6,000. Could have lost 15,000 if all the, 6,000 if, oh my gosh, let me drink some water. Could have lost 6,000 if they're all full losses, but also, like, or even more if I kept tilting. All right. So we just dropped. Not really anything crazy. How much of an over move did we have overnight? I want to know, because when is this? This is literally Asia session. So overnight move we had already 540 point overnight move. Ugh, that sucks. See how much the ATR has changed since that drop. So funny. It was 275 points on average for the last 5 days and then this Friday drop obviously pushed us up a lot. And now it's 490 point average. And ES is 100 point, 101 point. ATR. And that's the thing, right? We already moved 112 points here. Question is, do we have enough juice to get to that Friday low? I don't know. Yeah, we did come back into the daily FEG. We got to mark out previous day high. But I feel like, the trade that happened there for shorts was overnight during Asia and London, right? So I don't want to be chasing and get myself in a good position. Honestly, not many retracements either during this. Just broke, inverted, and just kept going. Just broke a pre-market low for NASDAQ. No, that's not what I want. I want a pre-market low. Pre-market low. Not yet for ES. Anything interesting from the first minute of the day? No. Chat, what did you vote today? 45% bearish, 37% bullish, 18% neutral. Interesting. Yesterday we actually brought out the money gun on the Ninja Trader stream. This was a banger. 500 points on the NASDAQ. Wasn't that fun? I wanted more. I wanted London High. And then I was trailing my stop, and then I got out of that one for like 90 points, the trailer. And it's a good thing I did, because it definitely was not a clean move to the upside yesterday, right? We got in here, first TP here basically, and then what did it do? It just dropped so much, didn't go lower. Enticed all those shorts here probably. And we creeped higher during Asia session, then it popped up above the afternoon session high, or previous daily high, because at that point this is Asia session. We dropped. We had a big move here. It's 540 points. Do we have any interesting news today? Powell is speaking at 12:20 p.m. Blah. Really, bro? What's he going to talk about? The good news, though, is starting on Friday, the 18th, the Fed cannot speak anymore. There'll be a blackout period until the end of the month, right? Because they're having their meetings. No one from the Fed can be making more speeches. So, because today, what do we got? We got FOMC member Bauman spoke at 8:45 a.m. Powell speaking at 12:20 that I just marked out. Waller is speaking at 3:25 p.m. and Collins speaking at 3:30 p.m. Falling through the tree, come the tree. Strange things have happened. All right, ES just took out pre-market low, and NASDAQ made a new low of the session. Since we opened, we dropped more. Dropped another 200 points. Damn, son. How far are we from Friday's low? Yeah, we have now 649 point range. How far are we from Friday's low? 270 points. Because I don't really see a reason why we're just like running to it like that cleanly without any retracements. You know, it's no longer a bank holiday, that's for sure. but there's no like high impact news today. And Trump's not really saying, there's no like tweets or anything right now. So I can't really be just entering just to enter, just to get part of it, because that's just chasing. You're down 2% on the day. Okay. A lot happened yesterday, though, in terms of Israeli hostages were exchanged for Palestinian prisoners. Hamas freed all 20 living Israeli hostages, and Israel released nearly 2,000 Palestinian detainees yesterday as a ceasefire to end the devastating 2-year war in Gaza was signed by President Trump and the leaders of Egypt, Turkey, and Qatar, who helped broker the agreement. Earlier in the day, Trump became the first U.S. president since George W. Bush in 2008 to directly address the Israeli parliament, where he declared the historic dawn of a new Middle East and urged Israel's president to pardon Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's corruption charges. Questions remain about Gaza's post-war governance and who will pay to rebuild the enclave, among other issues that the first phase of the ceasefire did not cover. Yeah, and they still didn't want to give him the Nobel Peace Prize. What's funny is, the person that was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize, she's like an activist for Venezuelan democracy. What's her name? Maria Corina Machado. She, when she accepted the Peace Prize, she dedicated it to Trump. OpenAI and Broadcom Inc. custom chip deal. You are not having deja vu. This is a different OpenAI deal than the 3 others you may have read about in recent weeks. The ChatGPT maker agreed with semiconductor giant Broadcom to jointly develop 10 gigawatts of custom AI chips starting next year. The arrangement follows similar ones OpenAI has made with Oracle, NVIDIA, and AMD to increase computing capacity needed for AI expansion. Broadcom, whose stock popped by nearly 10% following news of the deal, has been one of the biggest winners of the AI boom thanks to its custom chips called XPUs. Now, let me change my glasses. I don't know why. I forgot to change. And you know what? Someone actually messaged me on about this, that they have a traumatic brain injury and they ended up using the yellow glasses that I use all the time because they saw me wearing it. And they messaged me on Instagram saying, "Thanks for your code. The yellow glasses are a huge help." So I'm happy to help. Castillo, can you please remind me, put it in the group chat with Remy to reach out with to RA Optics about doing a giveaway with the glasses, because I remember they noticed that I wear it on stream. They were like, "Let's do a giveaway for your audience." Put it in the chat so I remember later. We hit the pre-market low. There's not really an SMT yet to me want to really go long, particularly. See, does YM have an SMT? Not really, no. Especially since I'm pretty much bearish myself. So yeah. My thoughts are, yeah, I don't know. We dropped a lot overnight. Dropped a lot during this opening. I want to see how 10 a.m. unfolds. I don't know why I put 10:20. He's speaking at 12:20. Just broke a swing short-term high. On the 1 minute and the 2 minute. I mean, if people are bullish, those that are bullish, that would be the market structure shift. I'm personally not really bullish given everything. Like I could see us maybe like going to the pre-market high and such, but like not by much, and it might be a high resistance way to get there. Because yeah, there's just there's trendline liquidity. We never really took out a high. I'd rather wait for some sort of divergence at a high to go for shorts. Even if that doesn't happen particularly this morning, because we already had a lot of movement happening. I'll tape read the upside. Just tape read it. Yes, seems to be stronger. Didn't go much more below pre-market low. Broke this high. Is almost at the pre-market highs right now. So this little mark out also the pre-market. Kind of hard because yeah, they're all similar heights. So I mean, those are pretty smooth highs then, right? I look at the 15. Yeah, that's all you can do is mark out minor buy side here, but I could go for more. Minor BSL. Minor BSL. I wonder if there'll be a divergence somewhere here at the high. There is not one at the lows, so I'm not really particularly interested in the longs right now. I can let this go without me. I just don't have the bias for longs. See what the heat map looks like. Very red. And Nvidia is down 3.7%. Tesla's down 3.3, Avgo's down 3.6, Amazon's down 2.2. Yeah, a lot of red here for the NASDAQ. Let's see, and this is the S&P, mostly red also. And of course, most of that red comes from the NASDAQ. Yeah, otherwise, it's kind of even, like flat, a lot of gray. That makes sense that ES is like a bit stronger. It's down 0.9%. Nasdaq's still down 1.3%. Amazon's definitely the weakest out of like tech stocks because Amazon never hit all-time highs from after the tariff rebound. So the reason why NVIDIA is down a lot is China is restricting semiconductor imports, impacting NVIDIA's sales. The company expects no revenue from China this quarter, potentially resulting in a $2 to $5 billion loss. That's why we dropped so much during Asia. I'll explain it. And, a lot of banks are down recently because there's like a car parts company is imploding. Company supplies car parts and 2008 flashbacks. His first brands filed for bankruptcy last month, revealing more than $10 billion in debt from loans that it took over the past decade to fund acquisitions and expand quickly, but they ran out of money. So the banks that and what happened? The company's founder and CEO resigned yesterday because there's a lot of suspicions around the accounting practices. Apparently, they were telling multiple banks about revenue that they expected to get the loans. So they're like double dipping into the loans. JP Morgan's down 4% today. Goldman Sachs down 4.8%. Yeah, I gotta stick with my bearish bias, honestly, for the next few days. I mean, the thing is, we just were at all-time highs when we dropped on Friday. And I think there's more downside coming. We came into the daily FEG, we rejected. It's just a matter of, are we going to get a retracement? There'd be a retracement to short. And that's something to think about. From here to here, this is the drop overnight from Asia. And 50% is higher up in here, the 4-hour FEG. So I think that will be interesting to have to mark out. Very large one, of course, but all of it is in a premium. Above 50% on both of them. So let me just copy and paste that here. That's the ideal scenario for me. We go like this. Maybe that could happen during Powell speaking. I never know. But what kind of other news do we have this week? Tomorrow, nothing really. A lot of people speaking from the FOMC. Thursday, all that's tentative. All that red folder, I don't know if that'll even come out. But Thursday, I'm going to be on a plane going to Naples. I'm going to the Ninja Trader event. Basically, everyone from the live will be there. They already announced that CPI is going to be delayed up until, I think, the 28th. Okay, 24th. CPI is coming out next Friday. So, like, we basically have to rely on more things Trump is going to say. Here's minor buy side was taken on ES. Nasdaq hasn't gotten there yet. Yeah, even with this push up, there's not really an entry I would have gotten anywhere. What are we gonna do? Honestly, hopefully they get to the 4 hour. Yes, yeah, I'm not too keen on this holding leader. What am I thinking about? Thinking about Nasdaq's still very weak, so obviously if I were to short, I would want to short Nasdaq. I don't know if this is gonna be the divergence, or if, they want to come back into here. Like, I don't really prefer the minor buy side as a divergence, but Sometimes it'll just be that way because NASDAQ might just be so weak. We'll see. Definitely don't want to like short a slow grind up. An alert. Kind of slow, kind of slow. NASDAQ still in the last hourly range. In the range of the last hour. Yeah, now the U.S. government has been shut down for 2 weeks. Now that it's been that's happened, it could take a bite out of the U.S. economy. More furloughed federal employees missed their paychecks due on Wednesday. The shutdown has already led to flight delays, national park closures, and IRS phone lines going down. And as more employees don't see a paycheck and more get laid off, it could dent consumer spending, which drives the bulk of economic growth. Neither Democrats nor Republicans seem to be in a rush to resolve this. Yep, they are not. They are not. And that's not fair to the people. People got their rent to pay and their bills to pay. So are they going to furlough their bills? I don't think so. Yeah, JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, and Bank of America have earnings this week. They already, is that why they're down actually? Because of their earnings? Yeah, they had earnings last night. I was wondering, I was like, because they're not the ones that gave those loans out, but it could just be sometimes sympathy plays. Okay. Yeah, they're both down because of earnings. Bank of America. Earnings are today. J&J had earnings already yesterday. Wait, is today Tuesday or Wednesday? Today's Tuesday. They had earnings this morning. Okay. A TSM, that's important actually. Yeah, TSM is, where are their earnings? Thursday. Basically, TSM makes all the GPUs. So like NVIDIA designs them and then sends them to TSM, and we're too reliant on them, honestly, and that's why they're trying to invest in others as well, so that we're not too reliant on making all our GPUs in Taiwan, obviously, for reasons that are obvious, like China potentially invading Taiwan. That's why we care about that. Yeah, so we're down. Basically, we're down during Asia because of the news. China was like, basically saying we're restricting semiconductor imports. So Nvidia is not expecting any revenue from China this quarter. $2 to $5 billion loss from that. Nvidia is down 3.6%, and that's why Nasdaq is very lethargic, right? So if you're long bias, it's better to go with the stronger sister, right? Yes, hit this faster. Nasdaq didn't even get here yet. It's very slow. It's actually romantic. if we're gonna have more downside, then I wouldn't want us to retrace so deeply into this 4 hour. I definitely wouldn't want us to close above 50% of it, which would be 66.73 on ES and 24,822 on the NASDAQ. You see on the hourly? Yeah. I don't need the fibs anymore. Just I use that to see if the 4 hours in a premium, and it is. So the thing is, if it reacts here strongly, then I would have to go take a delay on the short side. I'd have to go back to the drawing board and wait for more further information. Okay, NASDAQ finally crept up to the minor buy side liquidity. So basically, I'm kind of just waiting for any sort of SMT, or that they'd retrace into here and have a failure. Well, I'm still short bias. Yeah, NVIDIA, huge hit today. And the China tariff war is still going on, the trade war, that's not just pausing for now. It's just that they were a little bit oversold. I need to wait for a retracement to short again. I'll put alerts when we get here. Okay. Oops. Whatever, I like this one better. Lagarde says, I would never say ECB is done cutting rates. Okay. Paul Tudor Jones, I see concentration risk everywhere I look. Paul Tudor Jones predicts NASDAQ will be significantly higher by year end. It's a billionaire hedge fund manager. It was on for my alerts. Oh yeah, okay, yes, just went into that 4 hour. Yeah, basically I want to see what happens after we hit this. I would want to see a shift lower. Of course, if it doesn't happen, then my bias is wrong on bearishness. So we gotta wait and see. Here we are. For ES, it's reached it, obviously, because it's stronger. Let's see if NASDAQ will reach it. And then honestly, the best thing was waiting for an SMT. Even if it's a 1 minute SMT. And then a break in structure. That would be good to see. So far, there's just a small 1 minute SMT. I still do prefer NASDAQ to hit this first, but so I just gotta see what it wants to do. Okay, NASDAQ's weaker. I'm gonna write down. Yeah, make sure. That's my only idea. SMT, MSS, and then short NASDAQ. So far, you have ES retraced to the 4 hour, and NASDAQ didn't. If the one, just this 1 minute, you don't have the shift yet. It's kind of slow here. Hopefully, it speeds up. If it drops quickly here, then I'd be willing to short it. But if and only if. No need to like break below this and have an inversion here. Wait, maybe it'll happen at 10:50. Dream scenarios. This goes here, and we have some sort of SMT with ES, and then it breaks structure. Is this on? My God, trading is just so much waiting. What do you do for a living? Stare at my screen for 2 hours, waiting for one thing to happen. And then if it doesn't happen, I walk away. It's true. And it's an hour into the session right now. On the 15, I think this is maybe somewhat noteworthy. There's some BSL here near the midpoint. You guys take any trades? Definitely a lot of movement. Not bad, but I have this specific trade in mind. Didn't want to short here. Just there's no SMTs. I need an SMT. If I'm gonna short near in the discount, I mean, this is where we're in a premium, so still waiting. Keep on waiting, waiting on the world to change. Previous 4-hour high. Nasdaq's not hit it yet. It's not in the 4-hour yet. I just keep marking out the new high of the session, so I'll immediately see if there's some sort of SMT. But nothing right now. Ooh, I got a sleep score of 90. Wow. I slept for 8 hours and 10 minutes. No wonder I'm so patient today. Oh my gosh. Just building this like equal. These are equal highs on the Nasdaq. It's right building this right below the 4-hour FEG. Come on, can we take this? Floop-de-floop. I'd rather do that now rather than build up and then fake people out and then go back up. Well, just to take it out by like a tick. I'll slap myself awake here. Nasdaq's being mad boring. I'll have an alert for here. This is a swing low. Basically, what we can't just like make our eyes burn watching this. It's 10:46. It would be insane if we pulled the same thing that happened. What was it? Last Wednesday. Remember on Wednesday we dropped like, or is it Tuesday? Yeah. On Tuesday we dropped like this, and then Wednesday we just completely took it back. This is a much bigger drop here. It has to do with the China markets, right? China news. Not allowing any more semiconductors. So, again, that's why I'm bearish. And so I didn't take the longs. I'd rather wait for the shorts. But we don't know when that's going to happen. There's no SMT. $50 to 11:10. Will anything happen? Or are we just doomed to watch this consolidate? What do you guys think? Are we doomed here? Well, NVIDIA has been dropping a bit. Paul Tudor Jones sees year-end rally potential. He sees a potential market rally after late October, citing major tech earnings, U.S.-China developments, and a Federal Reserve meeting as catalysts. He's currently defensive, but may go long if the NASDAQ strengthens into November. He favors gold and silver over crypto through year-end, warning of renewed inflation in about 18 months as fiscal pressures push for easier Fed policy. Inflation has been crazy. Oh, NASDAQ, why couldn't you have retraced to here before doing this? I don't see an SMT yet. That's the S&P is a 4 hour then. If it drops a lot, then I'm willing to try it out. See if this turns into an inversion. Hasn't turned into inversion yet. Maybe this is where the SMT will form here. Maybe ES will take this out. I have an SMT here now at this low of ES for on the long side, but like I said, I've been bearish. I'm not flipping. Boom, boom, boom. Will we get the short? Will we get the short? Time to see. No inversion. Basically, I want it to close below this level. Also, I would prefer to have some sort of SMT even versus this high. It's like, yeah, there's a 4 hour SMT, but then it's even better if it also combines with a lower time frame one. See it. Anything. Will anything happen? I was only noticing, like, sometimes, yeah, that after 11 that there's been some good trades. So, I mean, I'm gonna stay on. If I get into a trade by 11:10, I'm obviously gonna stay longer, but yeah, I'll see what's good. 11:30 is probably like the cutoff. Mm. Mm, 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 mm. Bro, nothing. Nothing. Patience is a virtue for real. For real. Mm-hmm. It's a virtue. Mm-hmm. Yep, it's just consolidating here. Time is it? It's 11. This is a previous hourly high at this point now because 11 started. I mean, like, if ES took out this high and NASDAQ didn't, then we broke down, then I would try the short, sure. But other than that, seems kind of unlikely to happen. We'll see. We hit that high and we're just like not doing much, you guys. I'm still deciding to stay patient, and honestly, I'll have these lows marked out for later on in the day, because sometimes, as you know, sometimes we will just rally in the morning, and then the afternoon session will be lower. Yeah, that's not going to be an SMT. Nasdaq will probably end up hitting this, which is good because I did prefer, like I said, I did prefer it going to the previous 4-hour high. Did you guys see that the streamer that's getting canceled now because he puts a freaking shock collar on his dog to stay in bed behind him? I saw that. That was crazy. He makes his dog stay behind him for like 8 hours streams, and they moved out of its bed. And he it looks like he reaches across the table, and she yelps and goes back to bed. All right, well, what is it? It's 11. We retraced all the way up to my point of interest for these shorts. So all I have to do is like continue to wait for breaking structure lower, right? And that's why I have marked this out here, these lows. So I'm glad. I hope I helped people stay safe, because this never inverted this. This never confirmed her shorts, right? Right? I put the FEG of the last leg here. Never inverted it. Never converted for my shorts. So now I have alerts on the bottom of the leg, breaking this, and then if it breaks this, and it's likely it would close below this, and I would be pretty interested in shorts there. As well as this now is kind of interesting. We hit the previous 4-hour high. We hit the minor buy side also for ES here. So, I mean, the easiest thing to do, rather than continue to wait and watch is just put the alerts in. Now, there's a tiny fly here. Like, unless this happens very quickly in the next, we have a strong reversal, then I'll enter during the stream. So unless that happens, then I'll have to just wait. But we'll find out in the next few minutes. Basically, I would want this to be reversing this. Gotta admit, it's very interesting. It's a previous hourly high into a 4-hour bearish fair value gap. So there's potential here. You can't just stop the stream. There's potential. Let's see what ends up happening. Of course, now you have inversions from that push-up leg up as well. If it ends up inverting. Let's see. Powell is speaking at 12:20. Okay. Yeah, I would want this to close below here, and then this would even be a breaker if it did that. So I wouldn't feel like FOMO if it keeps dropping and I miss something from here, you know? This would be a breaker, and I would probably put my stop above that or something like that. Let's see. So far, it did drop in the last 5 minutes. We need to see continued dropping, though. Woohoo! Oh, the fact that it's stalling here, not fun. Not fun at all. 11:12. Still holding up. That's the thing, is that if it doesn't reverse here quickly, it could just dig in again and again. Maybe even 3 drives into here. Or maybe my bearish bias is wrong. That's fine, because I'm never entered a short anyway. Still bearish. I hit my area of interest now. So for it to have a 5-minute structure break, it's just breaking this. Oh my god, it's being so slow, so it's probably not gonna present itself. So slow, holding up here, a discount of the range in this bullish fair value gap. Yeah. I wanted this to be already here in the 10 minutes since it's been 10 minutes. Yeah, it can't be forcing shorts here if it never confirms. So taking so long to come all the way down here, it shows it's like it's just kind of consolidating, accumulating more. So I'll have my alerts for down here, and I would basically use like the 5-minute idea. It's a 4-hour point of interest. I would look, okay, then it's breaking a 5-minute low. Kind of important to me how it breaks the low, how it would look on the 5 then. Since if that were to happen, like during lunch hour in the afternoon, that could easily just be wicking into here and wicking into here. So I would want to see a nice push lower, breaking the structure. And at the moment, it could just be accumulating into lunch hour and before Powell speaking. So that's basically my thought process. I have my alerts here, and I'll get messages if they get hit, and then I'll just look at price again. No trade for me today. Yesterday was a good day. Today, no trade. And I mean, if I come in very I cannot really see the bullish side except for a retracement. If I'm overall bearish from this area, there's not even an entry here anyway for me to get in to go back up there. So stay safe, everyone. Remember, Powell will be speaking at 12:20 today. So I marked that out on my chart. Marking that out. Maybe this is going to fall. Maybe it's going to fall now. I'll give it until 11:30. How about that? Is it going to invert? Let's see. Yeah, it just inverted. But let's see if these lows get taken. I'll give it a few more minutes. No, it's just going back up. Well, I have this inversion now, right? The inversion, let's see this push lower here. It didn't, again, it didn't break any short-term low yet. I care more about these. What just happened there? Okay. Yeah, Nvidia is still weak, holding lower. Basically, I'm just going to wait for a 5-minute shift at this point, right? I mean, I've had this inversion marked out, and I'll have that also as an alert. Right now, it seems like it's just consolidating back and forth. Oh, you gave me hope, you little candle. just took way too long to get here. It's okay. So maybe in the afternoon there'll be a short. Yeah, okay. Stay safe, everyone. I'll see you back here tomorrow, 9:15 a.m. Don't forget, don't be a degenerate today. Yeah, someone said that the gap here is too big. Yeah, it's true. That's the thing is, yeah, if you don't get a shift lower, that's why I don't want to be going in too early without more confirmation, because it could do it could decide to retrace all the way to the midpoint, could do a second drive, a third drive, especially up until lunch hour. So there's no point of me trying to be early, especially since, you know, if I'm right, there'll be plenty more time to get short also, or there's plenty of downside, there's plenty of move left until Friday's low, right? Okay. Yeah, don't be a degenerate. I'll see you back here tomorrow, 9:15. Hit the like button. And yeah, we're navigating these markets as, I mean, they change the drop of a dime, really. So that's why it is good to have those alerts in. And if some fast, quick move happens, then you got to check your news sources and such. But nothing so far. We're leading up to Powell, 12:20 speaking, and we have other news this week. So, all right, see you, and stay safe.